Welcome to the Trap House. Come on in and sip this tea with your favorite cousin's favorite cousin. We're going to get into the Libra Full Moon Lunar Eclipse, which is the first eclipse of the year. We are full throttle in Mercury retrograde shadow phase. It's April 1st through April 28th, I believe, Mercury retrograde in Aries. We're just a few days away from Aries season. We're a few days away from the eclipse. We're a few days away from spring, the real new year. You can feel the unthawing. You can feel the building. You can feel the upgrading trying to come. It's the first fire of the year. So you can feel the trails getting ready to blaze and highlight where we need to go while burning the bridges to where we just came from. That full moon lunar eclipse is going to be at 3 a.m. on March 25th. Adjust your time for wherever you live at. Although we are going to be in Aries season, and it's going to be a Libra full moon lunar eclipse, it's very much so going to be a Pisces gangster party. We have Venus, Saturn, Neptune, and Mars. All are in Pisces. And with Pisces being the last sign of the astrological new year, it really is the time for us to finalize it, tie it up, complete it, get rid of it. If it didn't work, so what? If it did work, hold on to it. If they did that to you, you gotta let it go. It's the end, the 12th house. The things that we've been pining over, the things that we've been thinking about when nobody else is looking, nobody else knows this is what we're going through. We just keep going to God about it. We just keep going to our higher self. We just keep going to our ancestors about it. We now have to let it go because we're also letting go of obsessions under this Libra full moon lunar eclipse. Lunar eclipses are almost always a lot less volatile than a solar eclipse. That's only because the lunar eclipse is the moon. So it's illuminating for you what is personal for you, what needs to change for you. And if you don't do it, then you get your own head knocked in between the washer and dryer. Solar eclipses, everybody can feel. This solar eclipse, I think, because again we have Saturn and Pluto heavy hitters being where they are. They haven't been there in quite some time. This is the first eclipse series, or the eclipse of this series, happening under this energy. I think that's why it's so intense. But I'm still, my decoding brain, me and my Patreon tribe are still trying to figure out, why are the airlines talking about the eclipse? When I went back to work 7 months ago, my second day being at work, a doctor came in and said to the surgeon, make sure we don't have cases on April 8th because it's going to be an eclipse and I don't want to be at work. I need to be at home. That's weird. That's weird. Like, why? There are people who are knowing what's happening who usually are not into this type of thing, is what I'm saying. So, it's going to be big. The energy is going to be demanding and asking for your attention, demanding your attention, forcing you to give your attention to something that needs to change in your life for your upgrade. Remember, eclipses can be felt 3 weeks before, 6 weeks after, residually 6 months after, and depending upon where it affects you in your chart, you can feel it for the rest of your life. For the rest of your life, dog. That's nothing to fear. Although we do know that there are positive traits and negative traits, I always give my background on my experience with eclipses. I've decided I'm not going to do that this time. And I'm also not going to talk about what can be a little grave under eclipses. If you know, then you know. If you don't, then go back and listen to some of my previous eclipse recordings, because I say it every time. For the last 5-6 years, I say every time how eclipses have affected my life. I'm not doing that this time because I don't want to fearmonger. I don't want to spook anyone. I want everybody to do their own thing and get in alignment with your highest consciousness. Before I get any deeper into these notes, because I do it, I wanted to pull some cards and see what was coming up energetically for the eclipse and how we can maybe prepare for it. We are in a time of creation. Therefore, we should protect boundaries. We are protecting our boundaries so that we can go into a point of creation. I just said it's the new year. We are in the true new year, the calendar new year. Things are ending with this. All the positions in Pisces, things are finally coming to an ending under that transition. So we will have to start invoking boundaries, because now you're saying goodbye to people, places, and things that you've been very accessible to for a long time. It's time to get back in the lab, into your creations, using your head to architect, to build the architecture that you're actually trying to live within and withstand. What's bringing you peace? The eclipse is going to show you what brings you peace, what keeps you at a, this feels good, I like to resonate here, and what stirs you up. In any person, place, or thing that stirs you up or has you wearing a mask longer than, sometimes you got to code switch at work. If it has you code switching at home, you don't need, it's not for you. It's not bringing your peace. If anything, it is disturbing your peace. Patience is another theme of this, because although eclipses can be very rapid, you can feel the change of it immediately. You will need patience in adapting to it. You can feel it immediately, but you will need patience in the adaptation to it. I'm reading from The Woman's Encyclopedia of Myths and Secrets by Barbara G. Walker. It's an amazing book, encyclopedia that every woman needs to have in their library. I was actually going through this earlier so I could get to something about Mary Magdalene for Black Church on Patreon, but I ended up, this is what the book opened to. This is how the book opened today. And it opened on Libra. I said, come on, Spirit. Because we spiritual ascension. We're just going to let it happen the way it happens. I told people a few months ago, I have been in my own driver's seat for so long. And it's not to say that you shouldn't be in your own driver's seat. You're not the God of your own life. La, 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 la. The Creator created you to be the creator of your life. But sometimes when you are on a long 18-hour drive, you're going to need somebody to drive with you. You're going to need somebody to drive while you sleep. And even if you don't have nobody to drive while you sleep, you're going to need the money, the resources, the time to rest while you recharge so that you can complete this long journey. And during that resting and recharging, that is when your cells and your body and your energies are able to replenish the way they need to, which again is you not doing it by yourself, but with the help of the unseen, with the Most High assisting you. So I said I had been in the driver's seat of my life for so long that I think I've gotten lost. I think I've seen that tree too many times. I've gone past that tree too many times. Somebody else needs to drive real quick. And I will give the wheel to my man real fast. He got better sense of direction than me. Go ahead. Hop up in the seat real quick. Drive me around. Help me figure it out. Let me see the map. What that map say? Right? So when this book opened to this morning, that's not even what I was looking for. I said, okay, come on, Spirit. I'm with you. I'm here. So Libra, the astrological lady of the scales from the goddess Libra, worshipped in Carthage as Astarte, queen of the stars. Like the Egyptian Mayat, she represents the balancing process of karmic law. Her figure 8 symbol of equilibrium is now the mathematical symbol of infinity. Signified action and reaction under the rule of fate. What goes up must come down. Go read the Kabbalion. This is the perfect time to do it. What goes left must go right. As long as it is dark, it will be light. In astrology, Libra is still ruled by Venus because she was identified with the Roman Venus Aphrodite, natural law, and matriarchal justice. The blindfold on today's goddess of justice was unknown in antiquity. She not only held the scales of every man's fate, but she also had the all-seeing eye. So not only is the Libra energy coming in and balancing out the fate of every man, and she does mean every physical man, penis and balls. She's talking about men. Sometimes they say, we are talking about men as a collective. No, that book is talking about men because men been gone and throwing and basically try to throw a hex on women since the beginning of time. But what we learned even later in that book and in that reading on Patreon today is that just how men try to keep women out of their spiritual practices and they don't want people to come into their temples and their lodges and blah, blah, blah. Women did the exact same thing back when we had lodges and temples and practices and rituals to Ashera and Mary Magdalene, and all goddesses' name is Mary, one way or another. Even Yamaya, she's connected to Mother Mary. So we have always had our shrines. We've always had our homes. We've always had, can't come in here. That masculine energy, you don't even know what you're doing, boo. So it's the balance of what's been happening for these last few years, 100,000 years, thousands of years, with these crazy men folk and the patriarchal system. It was just a balance because the feminine system, the matrilineal system, had gotten a little cocky. So now we got to find the balance, Just like how women say, oh, I don't need no man, I don't need no man, I don't need no man. But how did you get that child? You didn't get it on your own. a lot of I don't need a man, I don't need a man, but then you lay down and you play with yourself with something that resembles a phallus, but you didn't need a man. That's crazy to me. But we ain't here to talk about that. Libra, balancing it out. It's all being balanced out. We are returning to our safety zones, not our comfort zones. Just imagine that you are at your grandmother's house. And at home, you know that you're comfortable and you know that, your mother will not hurt you, but there are certain things you are not going to do in your mama's house that you would do in your grandma's house. That is the energy of returning to your safety zone and not your comfort zone. Comfort zones can shrink you. Comfort zones can make you, so comfortable that you become lazy. You're in a state of inertia. You don't even know how to do anything better for yourself or different for yourself because you're comfortable. I'm comfortable. Comfort zones will have you in a bad relationship. Comfort zones will have you stuck at a job. Safety zones will have you acting in a whole nother fashion, a whole nother confidence. When you know that it's just you, God in the world stage, you're going to move differently than when you would if you felt like, oh, they're watching me and they're judging me and I don't know. You're going to move more confidently when you know that you are safe. When you know that your grandma going to save you, you're going to move a whole lot differently and a whole lot more comfortable. And that is what the energy of this Libra full moon lunar eclipse is doing for all of us. Some themes that we are going to have is new beginnings and letting go of any comparisons or obsessions that we may have. Like I said earlier, if we've been, it's social media. And that's why, I don't know if I've already mentioned this, but social media is already taking its kind of fall or at least its modification for the collective, because now we are realizing that it's so much energy that comes through those plasma screens, and we are conducted of plasma. We have plasma. So we are watching ourselves on these screens, and we're receiving so much energy and so much influence from people who are not us, from trends that are not us. And even, like I was telling my man a couple of days ago, everything I know about a lot of celebrities or even political things is involuntary. I did not go and search it. I did not Google it. I do not follow those people. I don't have it on my timeline. But because of the internet and because of how social media moves, all of that has been accessible to me. I've been able to see it all. I can put it all together. I've been keeping up with all of it. And it's crazy. So what we're seeing now is that with that being our truth, or with it being our reality, we maybe have lost sense of ourselves. We have lost sight of ourselves. We have become obsessed with being something that we are not. We have become obsessed with being, immersed into a culture that has nothing to do with us, or that wants us to lose ourselves. We have been obsessed with, other people, period. Attaining success at rapid fashions that is just not realistic. Time does not exist, but it will still take time for you to go around the wheel, and you got to be realistic with those expectations. So you may find yourself doing as we did last week on Patreon and fasting or detoxing or getting away from social media for a little bit, or putting yourself on a social media schedule. I've put myself more on a more intentional schedule. Get on there, do what you got to do, and move around. Like, go read a book. I've already finished one book. I finished one book in 4 days when I was on my social media fast. I said, T, what are you doing? What are you doing with yourself? Because we are going to be letting go of the obsessions and the comparisons and the distractions, we are now going to be able to see ourselves through a whole new set of eyes, seeing exactly what our gift is. Libra, ruled by Venus, seeing how just beautiful and demure that we actually are. Male or female, whatever you are, you're going to realize that you was dope, that you are the brightest star in the sky, that anything you touch, it expands to. Going through spiritual growth and awareness, meeting new spirit guides on new levels, hearing new things, activation of new gifts, because we will see now where we have been maybe even pacifying our gifts and what we've been trying to do with other things. So now they're going to be gone and moved on. A lot of what we're going to be unpacking under this eclipse, and what we've already started to unpack since the Pisces new moon, believe it or not, it's something that we have been carrying with us and adapting to and attempting to reprogram since even 3 months before we were born. 88 days before we were born, to be exact, is when our neocortex forms. That is how we retain new information and memories. Like, how do we relate to memories? So just imagine that if your mother, when you were in her womb, 3 months to your due date, she's in a bad situation. She don't even want you. For instance, me. My mama didn't even want me. I'm adopted. You know, she didn't even want me. She's afraid. How do I lie? How do I hide this child? How do I hide myself? I just had a breakthrough of my own right now. Y'all, my biological mother hid myself, hid her pregnancy of me for as long as she could. Then she showed she had to tell who was involved that didn't know that he was involved, that there was a child on the way that she don't think it was his. Then she lied and hid me from the rest of the city. All the way until I had a baby. She hid me from them all them years. That's why I have been hiding my own self for all these years. Come on, Eclipse. You 8 days away. Come out. Woo! 88 days before we was born, we was absorbing the environment of the energy around us, the belief systems of our mothers, the practices of the people who most impacted our mother. And under this eclipse, because we were so severely impacted by what was happening then, and for years, our whole life, we've been trying to unpack that. We made preconceived notions and decisions where we didn't need to, that were committed to things that were either beneath us or that we've outgrown and we should have been let go of them, but we're hiding behind them. Under this eclipse is going to be illuminated, and it's going to be like internal illumination of what needs to change. And because we've made these false preconceived notions on what we need to do or who we need to be or who we need to be around, it's going to be so much easier for us to let go of that. Or let go of those people, because unconscious decisions are decisions that you really don't have any control over. You really can't help that, my mother's been gone for 12 years. My mother never met my daughter. So that means I was never a mother while my mother was on this earth. I am my mother. I was not even carried by this mother who raised me. So I have adopted all of her traits of mothering. And it blows my mind every day. I'm like, whoa, why did I say that? Where'd that voice come from? How'd I get? It's crazy. But again, unconscious. Sometimes there are unconscious things that you do. Sometimes they're not positive. They're not beneficial for you. And the eclipse alley, the eclipse season is not even giving us an opportunity, because what I like about eclipses is the eclipse will come through and snatch that shit. Like, I said no. You're not doing it no more. We're not talking to them no more. We're not going there no more. You're not eating that no more. We're doing this now. I need you to do this. And I'm pushing you over there so you can't even get to this no more. So if you get over here, you're fighting to get into this bullshit. It's your own fault if you downfall. But we're getting back to ourselves with these unconscious patterns that we are now aware of, that we now know that we also have the power to change. Okay. The secrets of our soul are going to be illuminated, because Pisces is still the dominant player of everything that's going on right now. Even though it's going to be Aries season and Mercury will be retrograde in Aries just a few days later, and we are going to be in spring, life may still slow down ever so slightly, momentarily, so that we can be more intentional about what it is that we really want to do. Because remember, prior to the eclipse, I mean, even if you think back to Pisces new moon, what you thought just a couple of days before the Pisces new moon to be your truth is now a new truth. It's different. It looks different. It feels different. So now you can move different on what it is you're going to ask the universe for. If you were going to ask the universe to attract people that make you feel loved and attract abundance, likely under the Pisces new moon energy, you realize that, oh, I am the love. I am the abundance. So I don't need to ask for that no more. I need to ask for dexterity, the ability to maintain the vibration, the frequency, and the understanding of what my power and my purpose is. Things that we've been waiting on for about a year are going to start to either materialize completely, or energetically you'll be able to see that they are making their way towards you. And that's almost like a Saturn treat. Saturn is like, well, you know what? You've been trying so hard, so I'm going to do this for you real fast. And And in us receiving just an ever so small, minute gift or glimmer of hope that we are going in the right direction is going to let us know that it's okay to let go of the familiarity. And in fact, if we don't let go of the familiarity, if we don't let go of the familiar, remember, familiar energy just knows you. It knows how to mimic you. It knows how to trigger you. It knows what you're going to do before you're going to do it. So the familiar energy is, I don't give a fuck if you was my favorite bridge. You cross me, you on the other side. Facts. Because it's now time to build a new energy and go somewhere new. And familiar memory will keep us stagnant. Oh, I've known them for so long. Oh, nobody in my family has ever done this. Nobody in my family has ever done that. Staying in that truth will maintain stagnant approach. Even if we choose to stay in certain relationships or practices, we will be modified in such a sense that we will know that we can no longer tolerate such treatment, whatever it is. Whatever it is. Yeah, I'm going to stay your friend, but let me tell you something. Can't talk to me like that. Can't talk about me like that. Can't talk about other people to me like that. Yeah, I'm going to stay at this job, and let me tell you, y'all are going to give me these hours and this pay and this, or I can't be here. Yeah, I'm gonna stay in this relationship, but let me tell you, and understand that with some things, y'all, in relationships, you don't need to tolerate it. You don't need to tolerate it. You don't need none of that. You need to peep game and be on with it. You know, give them a test, and they don't even know they're getting a test. Because the next time they try you, that's it. They're just trying to see if they can pull it over on your eyes. On the flip side of this, what Libra energy is going to maybe do is bring some surprise collaborations, new beginnings, new power moves for couples, new, illuminations that maybe couples didn't know that they had, opportunities that couples didn't know that lived within them. So it's going to be a grand old time. We'll have a grand old time. I'm going to pull some of these cards just to see what the energy may be underlying. We already know that our main focus is going to be, did I put my cards up? Boundaries. Boundaries and creation. Boundaries and creation is our main focus for this Libra full moon lunar eclipse. Most High God and Goddess, thank you. Continue to be with me, be with my clients and any of the hearers and seers of this video. Because what I say, on the flip end of it, it's going to be bringing some blessings, winnings, money, got rich, inheritance, unexpected money. This is going to be Saturn's little, I see you. And, sometimes even as adults, we still want to be seen as children want to be seen. Look what I can do. I did this. And even if it wasn't big, you still want to know that you were seen for what you tried to do. Boss daddy. Stable, rich, business owner, CEO, big dick energy. Like I said, some couples or relationships may be coming together in a better way, making money together, investing together, getting married and, all that good stuff. Like understanding that it's y'all against the world. And then maybe independently, some of y'all may be realizing if I'm waiting for somebody for my big day, I'll be waiting forever. I'm the boss. It's me. I'm waiting on me. Because we gotta let go of these karmic friends. I just said, if you can't fully trust them, there's tension, secret competition, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. But even with that, you might want to keep your enemy close, but not that close. They don't need to be in your house. They don't need to be sipping your teacups. They don't need none of that shit. You might just want to have a pin drop on them. And if your spirits will do that for you. Your spirits will drop off some tea on a nigga that I wasn't even asking about them. But thank you. You learning today bad reputation without even asking about them. Because again, the come up that's on the way with this eclipse, you don't want to let it get in the way. You better keep your boundaries. Protect your creations. Don't tell everybody what you got going on. And especially don't tell these fake ass friends that you can't trust. Because the way that they about to crumble, the way it's about to not end well for them, you don't want to be nowhere near that. Your light irritates their demons. But keep shining. Shine. Shine. Oh, shine. Shine. You got to keep going, though. Keep going. Again, this eclipse is going to be, it's lunar. So it's internal. So what happens when people are mad at themselves, or when they're mad secretly and they can't tell nobody that they're mad because what they're mad at is some bullshit. They start trying to project it other ways. They try to get it out other ways and make you feel some type of way. Your presence intimidates them. Maybe you don't need to let your presence be seen by them no more. You're dodging bullets, blocking negativity, escaping crazy people, protected. It says protected by haters. And I guess that's because if you have your spirits guiding you and protecting you the right way, every time somebody even negatively speaks your name, you making money. Every time somebody negatively thinks your name, you're opening a door for yourself. Or they're opening a door for you. Because the energy is played out and it's time for you to move on. The eclipse is showing us everything that needs to finalize, along with that Pisces and Neptune and Venus and Mars and Saturn. It's the end. Let it go. It's played out. If you keep holding on to it, you're going to play nobody but yourself. Your energy isn't even interested in it even anymore. This could even be spiritually speaking. You know, some of you may either read cards or do consultations or do spell work, and you may feel like some of your stuff is not hitting anymore. It's likely because you don't even want to do it no more. It's played out. You don't want to do it anymore. Now, it also could be because one of these hating ass people have been trying to put something on you, so that's why you need to be protecting your boundaries, very diligent in your creation. You know, do your protection ritual, Psalm 91, Psalm 109. Make sure you at that altar so that you are protected at all costs. But you may be just uninterested in whatever it is now, and you need to be okay with walking away because you're moving on. I'm moving on. Hey, thank you. Next. Time to go. Whether you gotta get on a bike, a flight, an automobile, a trike, a train, I don't know. But it's time to leave it behind. I've been saying this the whole time. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. It's time to let it go. Oh, spiritual hater. There's somebody hating on your spirituality, your light, your magic, and power. So that confirms, again, the boundaries, and also why some of the stuff that you've been trying to do maybe has slowed down, or why it's not taking the route that it used to take, or that you're confused and you don't know what it is that you need to be doing. But that's why we give gratitude for Eclipse Alley, because it is showing us everything we need to know. Everything that we previously were doubting about ourselves is now being revealed of what we really need to do. Drama starter, someone trying to inflict trauma in the mind, mental conflict, as long as crucial conflict, as long as you don't know who you are or what your mental compass is or where you should be going, that is mental attack. And that is trying to start drama within yourself. But that's all right. Because the hater is about to be done. They're about to be living in scarcity. They already living in scarcity. That's why they're moving like that. Because they already know that you have more than what they have. So that's why they're moving like that. And again, sometimes y'all, your best friend and your lover is the main motherfucker hating on you. So watch your back. Queen rising, you're stepping into power, praised, coming up in the spotlight. I can't make this up. I give gratitude. Spirit, what are the last couple of cards that they need for the Libra lunar full moon eclipse? Dust yourself off and try again. You can dust it off and try again. Going back to who you were. Retrieving lost parts of yourself. Parts of you that you didn't even know existed are now being seen because you can see yourself through a whole nother set of eyes. You're in your safety zone, not your comfort zone. You're in your safety zone, not your comfort zone. So whatever happened when you were in your comfort zone, or maybe even outside of either one of those, dust it off because you are rising, going back to the top. I keep on rising to the top. Fake accounts, fake social media accounts to spy, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. If this ain't the confirmation that you either need to go through a cleanse, a detox, remove people who are inactive, completely deactivate or whatever, just step away for a couple of days, put yourself on another type of a social media schedule, I don't know what is. Final energies. Marrying for money. That came up a couple of times today. That's came up for a couple of times. That's that Libra energy too, though. Libra, ruled by Venus, loves to be comfortable, loves to be taken care of, but make sure that you're not living in a manipulation tactic because it's not going to end well for you. Marrying for money. Have you like that girl on TikTok? I don't even know her name because I wish I would watch 50 episodes of somebody else's life, but she married for money or stability and it didn't work out for her. I had a friend last week tell me about some things that happened for somebody else marrying for money, and that girl then went disappearing. Nobody can see her. So don't run from your truth. Don't run from understanding, breakthroughs, awarenesses. Run towards them. The neutralization of bad karma is here. That card came up a couple of times yesterday too. And come on, Spirit, give me one last clarifying energy. See, there are people who are moving so manipulatively, or they are hoping that they're going to throw you off of your path, or that they have already tried to throw you off your path. They've accepted dirty offers, they've given dirty offers, and it's not going to end well for them. And the final energy is somebody is into you. Good chemistry, great vibes, and positive energy. Even if you don't have a person, you are on the other side. You're going to the other side of whatever energy has been trying to keep you down, keep you blocked. The Libra full moon lunar eclipse is really going to be a bridge and a gateway for you. Thanks for sharing the sacred space and energy with me. If you want to book your own one-on-one lunar eclipse reading, you can do so through the link in my bio or description box, wherever you end up seeing this. And thanks for sharing sacred space and energy with me. Holla back.